All right, you all, welcome to week 6 of the Nonprofit Leadership Essential Series. Tonight, we're talking about strategic planning and sustainability for your nonprofits. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you all that joined and have been here throughout this 6-week series. I hope that you have gotten value. I hope that this has been a meaningful and worthwhile experience and worth your time. Tonight, again, we're going to be talking about strategic planning and sustainability. Your role as the executive director of your nonprofit organization is really being able to forecast, being able to project, being able to plan and foresee where your organization is going, how you foresee or planning for it to grow, and for the systems of sustainability, right? So strategic planning is not just about your program planning or your strategic planning as it relates to what it is that you want to do through the plan, through the program. It is also for the organization. You are the manager of the organization. Put manager in the chat. Put manager in the chat. You are the manager of the organization. You are the overseer of the organization. So, as the executive director, as the founder, as the CEO, it is your job to manage the success, to manage the finances, to manage the building of team, the manage of sustainability. Your work is not just in the area of program. All right. Your work is in managing the organization, managing the nonprofit, managing for success. Right. So, why is strategic planning important? Important because you are setting what? Goals and objectives for the business. Goals, financial goals, right? Sustainability goals. What are goals? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, timely. So, what does that mean? That means that when you are planning for the goals of your organization, you are stating within the next quarter, within the next 6 months, within the next year, we need to raise this much money, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 to do what? To build our team, to diversify our funding stream, to be able to expand our program. So not only is your job to manage the oversee the program, your job is to set goals and objectives for the business. Why is that important? Through your clear goals, through your clear planning, through your clear preparation, it ensures, put ensures in the chat, it ensures longevity and sustainability. If you are not strategically planning for the growth and the sustainability of your organization, it does not come by chance. It's not a random occurrence. It is through your knowing, it is through your strategy, it is through your systems, it is through your teams, it is through the actions that you take to ensure that the business is aligned with your mission and that it has the resources to accomplish your mission. Am I making sense? You also want to make sure that you are strategically aligning your board, your staff, your stakeholders. What does that mean? That you are strategically identifying the people, the partners, the board members, the volunteers who are on board, who are in agreement with, who are concerned about the goals of the organization being met, right? Who are also on board, who agree with, who are aligned with ensuring that the organization can accomplish its mission. So you are strategically planning who should be on our board, who should be on the team, what types of experience do we need within the organization? Who within our community is within our network that we can build relationship with or identify to hopefully build relationship with, right? Why is this important? You are consistently and persistently looking for ways internally and externally for ways and means to help secure funding and partners, right? Who are your strategic partners? Who are those that are in alignment with what you're doing? Who within your community is doing similar work that you're joining together can improve and increase your impact? We're not an island to ourselves. Our organizations are not solo projects. We rely on our community. We rely on our community. We rely on our partners. We rely on our donors. We rely on our volunteers. We rely on our team to help us all do the work together. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? All right. So you're wanting to secure funding, you're wanting to secure partners, you're wanting to define your goals and your objectives. Now, these are the elements of your plan. You are stating, this is our mission, this is our vision. This is what it is that our organization is set to do, right? And so you are aligning your organization with the people, with the corporations, with the funders, with the individuals, with the partners, those who have concern for what you do. How do you know who has concern for what you do? That is what you get through your communications. That is what you get through your communications, right? Through your marketing. Those that are in agreement with what you do, those that are in alignment with what you do, those that are concerned about what you do, they will step up. Those that also see the problem that you are trying to solve, they will raise their hands. Those that are also valuing the result that your organization brings about, those are the people that want to be a part. Your donors want to be a part. That's why they contribute. Your board members want to be a part. That's why they stand up to speak on your behalf. Your volunteers want to be a part. Why? That's why they give their time. So you are looking at what is our vision, what is our mission, and who within our community aligns with that, okay? Your organizational goals and your priorities. If it's diversifying your funding stream, if you were to say within the next quarter as a goal, specific, measurable, realistic, timely, right? You are saying within the next quarter, we want to bring on one new corporate sponsor. Within the next 6 months, we want to be able to raise an additional $20,000. Within the next 3 months, we want to bring on or start a monthly giving program. So you want to align your organizational goals and priorities to be able to help your organization to grow, right? Put grow in the chat. Put grow in the chat. That you are putting together the goals, the strategies, the systems, the tools, the priorities that are going to help your organization to grow and to be sustainable. All right. You're also aligning your programs and service strategies. Are these programs that you want to expand? Are these programs that you want to create? Right? Are these programs that you can begin to charge a fee for revenue generating opportunities? Are there service programs or opportunities for people outside of your traditional program, but that may also be a service to your community? I think about those that give tutoring, right? There may be people within your program who cannot pay for tutoring, but then there may be an audience within your community who can pay for tutoring. You're already tutoring. Could this now be a service or a product that can generate revenue for your organization? So, as you are strategizing your program, as you are strategizing your services, you are looking for ways by which to stabilize your organization at the same time. All right. So, a part of the strategic plan is financial and fundraising planning. Again, are you bringing in more revenue? Are you raising more money? Are you creating a new program? Are you adding a different campaign? With your desire, let's say going into 2026, we want to expand our program and we want to bring on an additional staff person. So, financially, what is that going to cost? And then what is the fundraising plan to maintain your current budget, but to add to by bringing on the additional funds so that you could add that additional staff person, right? Maintaining your current budget, but also planning to raise more money so that you can bring on that additional staff person as the example, all right? Partnerships and community engagement. Where else are you Having opportunity for further partnership engagement. Are there other organizations? Is it with the city? Is it with other nonprofits? Is it with the government? Is it with other places and spaces that you can expand your reach? I'll give you an example. When I was working for the Los Angeles Mission and we began to partner with the college was offering a degree program for mental health services. So we partnered with a college where their students would come and do their counseling practicum within the Los Angeles Mission. So they were now helping these homeless individuals or those who are transitioning from homelessness with their mental health needs. It was free to us, but it was also a service to and for the college. Now these students had a place where they could work on their degree and get the counseling hours that they needed. They just happened to be doing it within the population of the people within our program. So now when we're writing grants or now when we are approaching funders, we're able to show and share with them that our program now has greater impact. That not only are we providing bed nights, not only are we providing meals, but now we're also able to provide mental health assistance services, right? So now our program is even more impactful through this partnership, all right? And you are monitoring and evaluating for success as well, all right? You are monitoring to make sure that you and your organization are meeting the goals, that you all are achieving your benchmarks, that you are overseeing the success of the plan. Put plan in the chat. Put plan in the chat. The plan doesn't happen without management. The plan doesn't happen without oversight. The plan doesn't happen without strategy. Okay. And that is your job. Your job as the executive director, your job as the founder, your job as the CEO is to ensure that you are monitoring for success. On your job, you all may be familiar with reports, right? If any of you have had to do monthly reports, if any of you have had to do quarterly reports, what are those reports about? They want to make sure that you are on target to reach your goals. They want to make sure that you are in alignment with accomplishing what needs to be accomplished within the business, right? So those reports relay and convey, yes, we are on track. Yes, we're going to accomplish. Yep, we're going to be able to complete what we started. Right? So that's a part of what your organization is required to do as well. And you are the overseer of that. You want to start with doing a SWOT analysis. Has anybody ever done a SWOT analysis, right? Where you are managing and reviewing your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Your job as the executive director is to ensure that your strengths are being exercised, your weaknesses are being addressed, your opportunities are being taken, and your threats are being addressed. Okay. Your threats are being addressed. So if as a strength, you are very well known, right? You're very well known. Your weakness might be that you don't have a team. Your weakness might be you're very well known, but we don't have any help to get our message out. An opportunity might be that you have relationships with a college or you have interns or you have access to support. A threat might be we don't have the money to pay for it, right? So how do you overcome the threats? How do you overcome the weaknesses to ensure that your organization is able to accomplish the goals that you are setting out for it to accomplish? All right. You want to engage your board members and your staff and your community stakeholders, right? You don't have to do this work by yourself. You have help. You are a community-based business. So engaging your board, your staff, if you have staff, your community stakeholders, those that align with what you do, those who are in agreement with what you do, those that know what you do, engage them in that effort. Engage them in that effort, all right? Defining your long-term and short-term priorities. What are your long-term and short-term priorities? One of the things that I want you all to consider, even in this particular economic and political climate, as a short-term priority, really finding out who are your current connections? Who are your current connections? Are you connecting with them? Are you communicating with them? Are you sharing and showing how your organization and your program, particularly now, is relevant and important to your community? If your organization is going to be affected in a way by more participants because of the decisions of this administration, with all the job cuts, the Department of Education, of HUD, for those of you that are doing job skills, life skills development, for those of you that are working with youth, for those of you that are working with those who are in transition, you want to be able to show and to share how and why your organization is relevant and important during this particular time. You want to make sure that you are getting your name out there. You're wanting to make sure that your name is known. You want to make sure that you are identifying who your prospective donors and funders are right now, right now, right now. You want to begin to show that your organization is prepared and that your organization is intentional about meeting the needs that are coming. They are coming. They are coming. Did you hear what I said? They are coming. So you want to make sure that you are showing your community that you are prepared and you are aware and that your organization is the solution. All right. Your long-term priorities might be that we want to make sure that we have a building by 2026 or 2027. So what does that mean? That means you now need to be identifying who are those funders that are going to be a part of or who are open to be a part of capital funding is building, right? Where and how are you able to diversify your funding stream so that you are able to build the relationships now to help and to support what you plan to build in the future? All right. You want to be able to establish key performance indicators. What are those performance indicators to measure success? Are you increasing your monthly donors? Are you adding a new stream of revenue every quarter? Are you raising more money? Are you building your partnerships and relationships? Are you, right, growing the board and your team so that you can maintain what it is that you're building? All right. You would hate to set a plan and not be able to accomplish it. Now, why are we usually not able to accomplish it? Usually it's because we don't have the right action steps or we're not focused on the priority. We're not focusing on completing it. One of the things I used to hate when I was in the office was that we would have all these strategic meetings. We would talk about what we're going to do, talk about what we're going to do, talk about what we want to do, and then some other priority would jump in front of it, and then we would never complete what we started. That used to drive me crazy. I was like, what did we spend all that time for? What did we spend all that time for? Right? Wasted all that time. Let's not waste time. Let's not waste time. All right. Let's figure out what our priorities are. And if other things come up, then you either reevaluate, you reprioritize, but you finish what you started. Put finish in the chat. You finish what you started. And for many organizations, your weakness is you talk about it, you plan it, but you don't finish it. You talk about it, you plan it, but you don't finish it. All right. So you want to set up and review and revise checkpoints every 6 to 8 months, every 6 to 12 months. I would say every quarter. Every quarter, right now, going into the first quarter of this year, January, February, March, right now, are you going to meet your quarterly goals? If you're not going to reach your quarterly goals in the first quarter, and you're behind, and if you do the same thing that you did the first quarter, then are you likely to meet your quarter goals in the second quarter? Right. And if not, we can't get to the third quarter and the fourth quarter and make a decision to say, oh my gosh, we're not going to make it. You knew that quarter one. You knew that going into quarter two. Are you making adjustments? Are you revising your actions? Are you revising the things that you are doing to ensure that you are going to meet your goals, right? That is your job as the executive director. That is your job as the CEO. That is your job, is to ensure that the organization achieves its goals. If the organization is not achieving its goals, then that program is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. All right. Long-term sustainability strategies, right? Financial stability, diversifying your funding streams. You all hear me talk about 8 streams of revenue, 8 streams of revenue. Grants are great, but grants alone are not going to fund your organization long term, right? And while you're waiting on the grant funder to make a decision on who's going to get those grant dollars, you also have to have other funds coming in. So making sure that your long-term financial ability, sustainability, your financial sustainability is intact, you are wanting to make sure that you have the funding streams necessary to move forward. All right. So listen, for those of you who are on TikTok, please like this live. Please like this live, or I will end it. I will end it if you all are not going to like the live. Thank you so much. You guys are a part of a training, but I would appreciate if you guys would like this live. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. You want to build reserves and endowment funds for future stability. Your organizations should have already in reserve 3 months. Your organization should have in reserve 3 months, okay? 3 months of support, 3 months. Right now in March, going into April, you should have money in the bank for your April, May, and at least starting June. You're not funding what is behind you, okay? You're not funding what is behind you. You are funding what it is that you need to have to build your organization for sustainability. Number 2, leadership and succession planning. Leadership and succession planning. Identifying and training emerging leaders. Making sure that your donors, making sure that your funders see that you have a team that is able to help you do the work. All right. That you are training volunteers, that you are training your board, that you are not doing everything by yourself. Okay. That you are creating a transition plan, that when you decide to retire, that there is something in place for your organization to be able to continue. All right. That is what your job is to make sure that not only are you financially stable, but that you are stable within the organization in terms of knowledge, in terms of clarity, in terms of being able to do the work. If everything falls on you and anything happens to you, then your organization is in jeopardy. Do you agree? Do you agree? All right. Strategic partnerships, collaborating with businesses, collaborating with other organizations, collaborating with other agencies to make sure that your organization is known and seen as valuable to the community, as known and seen as valuable to the community, right? That you are making sure that those that are working with you, those that see the work, those that are a part of the work, those that value the work, that even if you are not in place, the people are aware of your organization's importance. The people are aware of your organization's significance, and your community. Your community can vouch that your organization does the work. Your community can vouch that your organization does the work, right? That they will put your name in rooms, right? So when you grow your strategic partnerships, they will speak on your behalf. They will vouch for you. They will show and share within the community that your work is valuable. Are you all hearing what I'm saying? So your partnerships are a way of your branding. Your partnerships are a way of your value sharing, right? Of your value sharing. Your partnerships are a part of your value sharing, okay? All right. So you want to leverage those resources. You want to partner with others within your community. Again, it adds value, it adds credibility, it adds it adds clarity, and it adds proof. It adds proof. It adds proof. okay? That your organization is meaningful, that your organization is valuable to the community, all right? How do you implement your strategic plan? You assign roles and responsibilities to your team members, your board. This is why it's important that you have a team. This is why it's important that you have a board. Why? Because then you don't have it to do everything yourself, right? The more hands make light work. The more hands make light work. Now, it is your job to know how to train. If you don't know how to train, then it is your job to ensure that the people who are in the roles and who have the responsibilities have the ability, the capability, the experience to accomplish it. Many times we put our mother, our brother, our dog, our cat, our fish on our board, and they don't know how to be a board member. They don't know how to fundraise. They don't have relationships. They don't have connections, but we didn't ask for that when we got them, right? So now you want to make sure that they have the information, they have the tools, they have the knowledge, they have the information, they have the training to be able to help accomplish the job. Have you guys ever been on a job and a person walks in the door and they don't know what to do? They just standing around, looking around, hand in their pockets. They don't know what way is up, which way is down. They don't know what to do first or what to do second, right? And so then they're what? They're in the way. They're in the way. They're in the way. Those of you that know what to do, you're working around them and you're trying to get them caught up, but they don't know where to begin. And many of your board members are just like that. You've brought these people onto your board and they don't know what to do. Hands in pocket. I want to help, but I don't know how to help. Just tell me what you need me to do. Tell me what you need me to do. And you're like, I just need you to help me. I need you to help me. I need you to help me raise money. And they're like, I've never raised any money. Can you show me how? And if you don't know how to raise money, then you can't show them how. Now what? Everybody's walking around with their hands in their pockets. No one's getting the work done. So when you are looking to implement the strategic plan, you want to make sure that everyone that's in the role, that has the responsibility on the team, has the knowledge, has the skill set. I always say the best investment that you can make in your business is knowledge. Otherwise, people are just spinning around in the middle of the floor. I don't know what to do next. I don't know what to do next. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to start. And now nothing is being done. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you are tracking for success. Use your project management tools, right? Back in the day, we had a file cabinet. Y'all have something electronic. You got these files, you got these emails, you got these calendaring, you got all these things. Use them, okay? Manage the plan. Put management in the chat. Manage the plan. Manage the activities. Manage the progress. Manage the accomplishments. Manage the things still yet to do. If you are leaving things not done, if you are leaving things unaccomplished, then what are we doing? If you don't have a plan, then you don't have a plan. If you don't know where you're going, then you're not going anywhere. You're still in the same place, right? You're still in the same place, working hard, but not going anywhere. You're wanting to set review meetings. You're wanting to make adjustments when necessary. You're wanting to know how. That's your job as the CEO. That's your job as the executive director, right? You want to make sure that you are communicating. The people that are supposed to have things done, that they are communicating that they're accomplished. You're wanting to communicate by when should it be done, right? So that everyone has reasonable expectation of output. When you are setting plans, you are saying, this is the deadline. We're going to check in at this date. We're going to make sure that everything is in by this date, leaving yourself room for those stragglers that need another extra day or so. You're going to monitor those challenges that come along, but you cannot keep missing dates. You cannot keep missing due dates. You cannot not plan. Not planning means it's really not a priority. Not planning means, oh, we can get there when we get there. It doesn't matter. We're not in a rush, right? Whenever we get there is fine. If we get it done, it's fine. If we don't get it done, that's fine too. That's what it says. And your donors and funders are saying, well, what's your financial goals? What is your plan for sustainability? Oh, we don't have a plan for sustainability. No, we don't have a plan for sustainability. If we raise the money, we do. If we don't, it's okay. We'll just do something else. That is why it's important for you to know the job. All right. Common pitfalls and how to avoid them. Lack of leadership. You are the leadership, by the way. You are the leadership. You are the executive director. You are the CEO. Are you leading your organization? Are you leading to accomplish the mission? Are you leading for sustainability? If you're not involved in leading the success of the organization, then the organization will not be successful. Did you hear what I said? It will not be successful. Lack of leadership. Are you bought in to the sustainability of your organization? Are you bought in to the achievement of your mission and having the resources to do the work? Or are you only bought into your program and what it is you want to do? Now that's up to you. But your donors and your funders are looking at the business. They're looking at the financials. They're looking at the budget. They're looking at the goals and the sustainability plan. But that takes your buy-in. You are the leader. You are the lead. That's your job as the executive director. Who else is above you? Right? You pick the board members. They don't come on the board without you. You pick them. They can't have more buy-in than you. Your donors can't have more buy-in than you. The grant funder can't have more buy-in than you. Where you're wanting them to fund your organization, but you don't even have a plan for sustainability after the funds have gone. You have not bought into sustainability. You just bought into what you want, your passion. Am I making sense? Unrealistic goals. Set achievable, data-backed, overseen actions to help you reach your goal. What's an unrealistic goal? An unrealistic goal is, Jen, I need a grant to fund my organization, as if one grant is going to fund everything. That's unrealistic. Jen, I need a grant to pay my operations. That's unrealistic because after those grant dollars have been spent, where else is money coming from? Unrealistic goal. I can start a whole business and not know how to run the business, and I can compete with those that do. I can say I don't know all the way through and expect to be treated the same way that others do. That's unrealistic. That's like saying, I'm going to run a race. I'm going to get in the race, but I've never run. I haven't trained. I've not prepared. I'm not even wearing the right attire, but I showed up. That's how many of the organizations look when they start, and the leader is like, I don't know what to do next. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to start. But you got in the race. You started a whole business. You're in the race. You don't know the route. You haven't practiced. You don't have any experience. But you want to be taken seriously as a competitor? You want others to invest in your work? Unrealistic. All right? Failure to measure your effect. You're telling people that your program is a solution. Then we've got to measure to prove that, right? We talked about that last week. That you have evaluation, that you are measuring for success, that you are defining clear matrix, and you're able to articulate and to show that and to share that with others, right? You all have to plan. And your planning cannot only be on your program. All right? You've got to be open to including others, open to diversifying funding streams, open to others' ideas, open to learning. All right? So this is what I want you guys to think about as your next steps. What is your organization's biggest strategic planning challenge? What is your biggest challenge? What 3 action steps will you take to improve your sustainability? And number 3, who needs to be involved in your strategic planning process? I want that to be a part of your reflection because that is a part of your job, is knowing who's in the right seat. Are we doing the right things? What more could we be doing? All right. A person asked me to wrap it all up, right? Tie it all together. So, week one, we talked about your job and your role as the nonprofit leader, right? You are the CEO, you are the executive director. Week two, we talked about your vision and your mission, having your vision in front of you. Your vision is not what you're going to do, your vision is knowing what it looks like when what you've done is successful. Your vision is the end. Your vision is what is completed, right? Your vision is this is what it's going to look like. So having your mission plain, having your vision plain, and then putting together what? The team. Week three, we talked about your board. We talked about the role and responsibility of the board. Week four, we talked about fundraising, making sure that in order for us to accomplish our mission, in order for us to reach the vision, we need these levels of revenue to help us do that work, right? So you have a budget, you have the streams of revenue, you have the plan to accomplish those streams. That's your job as the executive director. Everything that we're talking about is under your purview as leader, under your purview as executive director, under your purview as your job. All right. So tying it all together. Last week, we talked about your program and your program design, right? What is a program? By design, our program is a group of activities that will accomplish our mission. So your job is to ensure that the resources spent on the program are well spent, that the resources and the money that go into the program are well spent, right? It's accomplishing your mission. That's how we raise more money, by telling our donors, by telling our funders, by telling our supporters, by telling our contributors that our program works. And now you have the plan, the strategic plan for the organization to ensure that not only does your program work, but that your organization has the resources, has the relationships, has the team for sustainability. All right. Everything that we have been talking about over these last 6 weeks, has been to position you with put mindset in the chat. I know y'all started this thing because of your passion. You started this whole nonprofit because you're passionate, right? Passion with a plan will take you further. Passion with a plan. Okay. Passion without a plan is nothing but chaos. Passion with no plan, no strategy, no experience, no team, no vision, no idea where we're going and how we going to get there. It's nothing but chaos, right? It's causing you to be stuck. All right. I want to thank you all again for being here as a part of this 6 week series. I am so happy to have been a part of this movement that was caused by Hillman Talk University and TikTok University. And I hope that I have done justice. I hope that I have done justice in these last 6 weeks to really be able to say, pour into and to share with you. We started with almost 100 people, and this is what we have left. This is where and why 87 out of 100, out of 100 nonprofits, only 13 are going to make it. We see that. I expect that. That's what happens. Is that those that fall off, those that lose interest, those that are preoccupied, those that whatever. But it is the 13 that know. It's the 13 that have the information, that have the knowledge, that has the clarity. They're the ones that are going to reach across the end. So I want to say thank you. If you have been here all 6 weeks, say me, say me. I want to say thank you very much. Thank you very much for those of you that have been here all 6 weeks. I appreciate you. For those of you that came in at different places and spaces, thank you also for being here. I'm opening the floor for any questions. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions about any of the trainings that we have been through? It has been my pleasure to share these hours with you over the last 6 weeks, and it has been my pleasure and hopefully of value to you as well. All right. Anyone have any questions? D says, I do want to say that this series has been extremely helpful, beyond thankful for delivering this information in a digestible manner. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You've been phenomenal. Thank you. I do have a question about the average turnaround time for the 501 designation. So what's your question? How long does it take? That's up to the IRS. It's usually about 6 to 8 weeks. Okay. Any other questions I can answer for you all? Any other questions?
I have a question. Of course, this is freedom. How are you?
I'm
First
welcome.
of all,
How are you?
good. I'm good too. This has been phenomenal. But what's next as far as continuing to work with you to develop the nonprofits? What's
Well,
next? I mean, are there paid courseworks? Are there
there
individual
are, there
mentorship?
are,
Or
there
what?
are, there are. Right now, I am working on a 3 day training. It's going to be in Las Vegas. And I want you all to bring your board. That's one area that you can work with me on. It's going to be on your board. It's going to be a 3 day training. It's going to be like this 6 week training, all wrapped up in 3 days. One day is going to be only on the board. For many of you, your board has not been trained. Would you agree with me? Would you agree that you have people on your board, but they don't know the roles and responsibilities that they have? Right? So I want this to be like a board retreat. I want you to bring your board, and I want us together within that group work on your strategic plan. I want them to hear it from me, what their job is. And I want them to look me in the face and tell me, are they on board to getting it done? And if they're not on board, I will tell them that they may want to make a different decision. Now, I don't want to take over your organization, but if they need to hear from somebody else other than you, I want to be that person to say to them, listen, this is important work, particularly in light of what is happening in this particular climate. We have to have organizations who are led by people who want the missions to be accomplished. So day one is going to be about boards, setting strategic plans, putting together the roles and responsibilities of each board member. During that day, we are going to be putting together each of your strategic plans, your boards working together, putting those plans in place, and me being sure that at the end of that day, y'all know where you're going for the rest of 2025. Day two is going to be on fundraising, where they will have an opportunity to know what their job is and to answer any questions. I will have scripts, I will have the scenarios, I will be able to position them to be able to leave that space to help your organization raise money. I don't know if y'all remember me saying that I worked with 1,000 organizations nationally and internationally. And I had 3 days to get these individuals, these board members and these executive directors ready to raise money. And I am going to be mimicking that over these 3 days. All right. So day two is going to be about fundraising, putting together your fundraising plans. We're going to be writing out who our contacts are. We're going to be putting together our communication plans and strategies. We're going to find out who they know and who they should be working to get to know within their role as board members to help the organization generate money. And again, they'll be able to hear that from me in the conversation. Day three, we're going to be talking about grants. We're going to be talking about raising money. We're going to be talking about how to find grants and so forth. So those are going to be 3 days. Those are going to be 3 days together. And for those of you that have interest in that, I can share with you more of that. We have different classes that we're offering. Next Monday, we have a grant writing training that's coming up. We have offer other trainings as well. I offer one-on-one mentoring. We offer payment plans for those of you that need a payment plan. We offer that as well. There is an interest fee with that, but you can get into a payment plan with us. We offer services wherever you are. Um, you just need to let us know what it is that your priority is. Do you want training? Do you want the materials and supplies? Or do you want more one-on-one coaching? We offer it all, and we're trying to make it as flexible as possible. We know that education is necessary, and we're trying to work with you as
More riblets. There's at least
okay.
that much left.
Deborah, did you have something to say? Your mic is open. Okay. Um,
I
the
have,
question the question is, how often should board meetings be held? That should be in your bylaws. That should be in your bylaws. Board members at least should be held one every other month. Now, when you are just starting, again, you're not meeting for the sake of meeting. It's not the number of meetings. It's what's being covered in the meetings. What is the what is the discussion of each meeting? So that should be planned. That should be prepared. That when you go into those meetings, there is an agenda and there are actions that are being set to meet. It's not about the meetings. The number of meetings don't matter. It's what are we meeting about? What is it that we've set to accomplish? What are the report outs for the meeting? And then what are the next steps for the meeting? So it's not the number of meetings. It's what's being discussed. What are the takeaways? What are the actions? What are the reportings of each meeting? I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. All right. I don't know if any of y'all have been into meetings. I hate meetings. I don't like meeting just for the sake that we had a meeting. Like, what am I in here for? And no meeting should be more than an hour. So, whatever we're meeting about, there should be an agenda. We're coming in prepared to discuss this. We're coming in prepared to have this decision made. We're coming in to take this vote. We're coming in to have this conversation or to report on this. And those reports should be presented before the meeting, right? So we already know what's on the agenda. We already know what it is that we're taking action on. So the board meeting is for action, not just for meeting's sake. All right. So you want to make sure that you are prepared, that there's an agenda, and that you have the strategic plan. Those things that are a part of the plan is what we're reporting on, right? Those things that we're finalizing, things that we've already discussed, things that we've already made a decision about. That's then. This is new news. We got all the old news out of the way. Now we're talking about the new news. What's new? What do we need to make a decision on now? What has been accomplished? What do we need to work on making sure that gets accomplished? Are there any challenges? Everybody's good. All right. Everybody knows their next steps. Do you need any help? Are there any resources that are needed? Okay. Who else needs to be involved in this? No? All right. Next meeting date. Reports before that meeting date so that we know before the meeting how the conversation is going to flow. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? What things are being voted on should be already shared before the vote, before the day of the vote. People should already know what we're voting on. All right? This is a business, y'all. This is a business. And the people that will come to your board are professionals. We want to respect their time. All right? They're not there to help you brainstorm. You are the CEO. Now, if you don't know what to do, how are they going to know what to do? You run the business. They're there to help you. All right? Are there any other questions? Any other questions that I can provide for clarity's sake?
Hi, I have a question. This is Melissa. I would like to know if you can provide some insight on ways that you can measure your strategic plan. Because a lot of times the strategic plan gets, um, I don't know, like it gets sidetracked with little nuances, like little setbacks, and then the plan is off target. So I was just wondering if you can provide some insight on how we can measure our strategic plan to keep it on our mission.
What caused the setback?
Uh, so it's sometimes the board is sometimes uh
The board is
the
a group. The board is a group. So are we saying
yes,
the
so
whole
there's sometimes the board members are either not as active as they should be, or like everybody has their strengths. So a lot of times a lot of the setbacks are board members not really coming through.
Okay, so
So
my
we
question is this. When you created the plan, was the plan voted on?
yes,
Okay, so the plan was
and
voted,
yes,
and everyone that now is a part of the plan and knows their role and responsibility to the plan also voted on the plan.
yes.
All right. So then
But
how are we reporting on the elements of the plan? How often are we reporting the elements that they have signed up, that everybody has signed up? Everybody is reporting at a different, at the same time they're reporting. This has been accomplished. This has been accomplished. Are you all doing that reporting cycle?
Most of us are. So that's what happens. A lot of times, you know, when there are lags in the reporting or you have questions about what's been reported, it then turns into another project.
Okay.
So it then delays the planning.
It can't delay the planning. So who is overseeing the movement of the plan?
90% of the time, it's the executive director.
All right. Are you the executive director?
I am.
Okay. So then your job in the first time that the plan is not, whoever is not making the report, my first call to them would be, you do realize that the report was due on whatever the date was. When will we have it? When will we have it? And if that person says, oh, I forgot, that's okay. We need the plan. When will we have it? If they say, well, I can't do it, I can't do it. All right. So are you telling me now that you will not or are not able to hold up your end of the plan because the plan cannot be stopped? I just need to know, can we count on you to be a part of the plan? If you cannot, for whatever reason, personal reasons, business reasons, interest reasons, whatever, we have to move forward with the plan. One monkey cannot stop no show. No, it
Right.
cannot be stopped, period.
You're right. And that's my message. A lot of
So
times that is the message.
well, then you got to take action on that message.
Yeah.
But you get
So
it, well, you just say, when will it be done? Are you not ready? Are you not interested? Are you too busy? I just need to know. There's no pressure. If you can't do it, just tell me you can't do it because we have to get it done. Now, how does it turn into a whole nother project? I don't know. And that didn't even matter. My point is, I'm looking at you saying, what are you doing to ensure that the plan stays on track?
so my delivery sometimes is the problem because a lot of times it becomes, you know, it's interpreted as putting pressure on people. And, you know, in this climate that we live in, everyone, you know, needs their mental health.
No, no, we're not babysitting. We're not babysitting a mission.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. A lot
So
of times
if
it
people are
becomes
sensitive,
pressure.
if people are sensitive to what they signed up for,
Right.
now they signed up for this. So
Yes.
my job is not to listen. Now, this is the Capricorn in me. And the boards that I work with were people that didn't look like me. So I had to go in very direct, no emotion attached. I'm assuming everybody needs grace. I'm going in assuming everybody needs grace, right? So I'm going in saying, you know, we voted on this. And if we don't accomplish this, this is going to impact the organization's stability. This is going to impact the organization's ability to raise the funds needed to operate. So this isn't personal. I'm just trying to make sure that the organization stays on task. Now, a lot of these people, none of these people were my personal friends. And that's usually the problem is that many of these people are y'all's friends.
No, no, no. There's no friends. There's no
Okay.
friends.
So then
It's all a business
it's
relationship.
all business, then it's
It's
all
all
business.
business.
If it's
Hmm.
all business, then it's all business.
Yes. Right.
The business is, this is my job. My job is to ensure that the organization maintains the financial integrity needed in order to operate. Those of you that I have the pleasure of working with on this board, I love working with you. I love that you all give your time and of your talent and your expertise, but I understand that we all have lives. But my job is to ensure that this organization stays on task. We all agreed that the reports would be in on this date, and it's already late. I'm coming to you to find out, is everything okay? Do you need anything? Right? I want to check on you first. Are you
Hmm.
okay?
Yes.
Everything's okay? Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Well, I still got to address this late report. What happened? Or when is it coming? I'm going to assume it's coming. I'm just going to assume something happened and it's late for some reason. I just need to know, when am I going to have it? Oh, well, you know, I'm da da da, whatever, whatever. Are you going to be able to have it by Thursday? Because if you're not, then I'm going to have to take that whole assignment from you. And if I take that from you, I'm also going to think that maybe this is not a time for you to be engaged in the way that I know you want to be. Can we have that conversation?
Yes. And yeah, I mean, in not so many words, but those are the steps that I've taken, and a lot of times it becomes like a back and forth. Then there's that side and this side, and once they start clicking, it becomes now it becomes an
One-on-one
attack.
conversation. This is a one-on-one conversation. You don't have these conversations in front of people.
No, no, no. It initially starts off as one-on-one.
They take it to somebody else. If they take that one-on-one conversation to someone else, and that someone else comes to you with what you spoke to about this with that person, I would say to that third person who wasn't a part of the conversation,
Yeah,
I didn't have a conversation with you. I
right,
will not have a conversation with you about a conversation I had between me and her. Now that y'all's conversation, I don't even want to be privy to. I don't want to
right,
know what y'all talked about because I'm not going to share with you what we talked about. I'm not
right,
doing that. So I don't know what you all talked about. When we left our meeting, we had an agreement. Now, if that agreement has changed, that person needs to come to me and tell me that. I don't talk to no third person.
yeah. I mean, you've been in this business a long time.
I'm gonna say this, Melissa.
Hmm.
You might need a one-on-one. Okay, we don't need to
Okay,
spend everybody's time with this
got it.
conversation. But
Gotcha.
what I will say is this: you are the executive director. You are the executive director. It is your job to manage the relationships on the board.
Okay,
That's your job. Now,
okay,
and say, Jen, what should I say? How should I say it? What should I do? Now, that's what I do. I go in and say, okay, this is how you say it. This is what you do. This is the documentation you take. You keep notes, right? You send back minutes. You say, this is recorded because I want to make sure we're all understanding so that if they go back and say something, it's like, well, that's not what was said. I got the recording.
right,
They didn't say that to me. So they can't stir up stuff. Shut it down. Don't engage that. Shut it down. I wasn't talking to you. I'm not talking to you about that. We had a conversation. That conversation was between us.
got it.
That's it. And if there's a problem, if there's a relationship problem, then you cut that in the bud too. You say, listen, I'm getting wind that there may be an issue. Do we need to have a conversation? I'm coming back to you. I'm not going back around the barn. I'm coming right back to you.
Right,
Do you and I have a problem? If they say, no, 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 there was no problem, there was no problem. I'm really glad about that. I'm glad that there was no problem. I'm going to take you at your word. I'm not even going to bring in another person's name. I'm just going to say, okay, we're good. We're good. I would keep my eye on that person, but I would not continue to stir because those are spirits of distraction. Don't let them distract you. Keep it about
got it.
the business. Keep it about the plan. Keep it about the task. It's not personal. We don't talk about people personally. The conversations that I had with you, I would not have with D. I would not go to D and tell D, this is what I had with Melissa. So I don't want D coming to me talking about a conversation I had with Melissa. I'm going to tell D, that was a conversation between me and Alyssa. If Melissa has a problem, she needs to come back to me. I'm not talking to you about what I spoke about with Melissa. Just like D, I wouldn't talk to Melissa about what I talked about with you. Now, y'all two may be messy and talk about that together, but you're not going to drag me in the middle of that. Because this is about business. This is about what we decided on. This is about what we voted on. We voted on it. That's it. We voted on it. I hope we voted on it.
We
Right?
did. Yeah, yeah, we voted on it. Yeah, absolutely.
So
It's
then
definitely
what are
voted.
we talking about? Okay. You're the executive director. You are the executive director. Walk in that.
Got it.
All right.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Anywhere else? Anyone else have a question?
Hey Jen, thank you so much for that. I think this is a quick question. If it's not, let me know and then I'll reach out to you. But when you have a for-profit and a nonprofit, nonprofit hasn't done anything yet, but they kind of lend a hand to each other. Is there any way of knowing which one is better to pursue a project under? Should I pursue it under my nonprofit? Should I pursue it under my for-profit?
Why is there a question?
Because I want to get my nonprofit off the ground. And if I have people, it's kind of like what you were saying before, like if you're doing it anyway, if you're tutoring anyway, why not do it with a nonprofit? Um, but it's something you can get paid for, but I do want to bring money into my nonprofit and get the nonprofit's name and presence known in the community. So I think that that would be my main reason for not doing it as business as usual.
Okay. So if the idea is I want to give back to the community through the work that I already do and through the either donating or whatever the program is, I want to offer it through the nonprofit so that people will recognize what the work of the nonprofit is,
Yes, true.
right?
Okay.
So whatever it is that you're doing, are we talking about how you're going to get that funded, or are we talking about doing it, doing whatever it is that you're doing?
I'm thinking if the opportunity comes up, which it will for coaching or what have you, I can just do it. And and then like you said, at some point maybe if there are people who can't afford it and then there's some who can, maybe a scholarship could be given to those who can't because other people are paying for it. You know, I'm just kind of thinking of it in that manner. I don't know if there's another way I should be thinking about it.
Yeah, that may take a longer conversation, but I'm going to say this. If
Okay.
your organization is offering a service, whatever your program is, it's to meet a need. So the activities that you're doing through the program, the nonprofit side, is to meet a need, a general need, not one need, but a need. Your organization has proven is established because there is a need. Or this is what my for profit does, but I want to help the community. So I'm going to also get a nonprofit because there are a few people that cannot pay for my services. And because there are those a few people that can't pay for my services, I started a nonprofit just so that I could give those services away and then write it off.
Ooh, I hear that. Okay.
Is that what it is? I mean, don't answer it. I'm just saying. That in my mind, that's what comes up, right? So there
But
were one or two people that came through, they couldn't pay. So I decided to start a nonprofit because I really feel like most people can't pay and I want to help people. So I started my nonprofit because they couldn't pay. But I'm going to do the service, I'm going to write that service off under the nonprofit.
I will be very transparent with you. The people who are paying for it can pay for it. I would like to extend some of those services to seniors, tech, which is what I spoke to you about before in the community. But of course, there's always going to be that, you know, that thought process about the for-profit and the nonprofit and how they work together for minimizing tax liability.
Well, you could have just given your services away to another organization that does tutoring, right? You could have worked with that other organization, does tutoring. You still would have got the same tax write-off without having a nonprofit under you, right? But since you do, you still are back to once you've given it away, you've given it away. You still are paying for it.
Hmm. Okay,
And
I see what.
if the idea is I want somebody to pay me for the scholarship of what I'm already giving away, I'm already giving it away. That's what the nonprofit is set up for, to give it away. But if somebody can't pay, I'm still already giving it away. But I want somebody now to give the nonprofit money so that I can get paid for what I'm right now giving away.
Sponsorship.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get where you're going. I think that we could set that up where, but again, we got to get back to the need. Right now, you're just got one or two, and I don't know how many. I'm just saying one or two. It could be 10 or 20. I don't know. But my point is that we've got to prove that there's enough of a need for there to be enough of an impact to justify the funding. Not just what you want to give away, but what is the impact? What is the value? What is the number of people that could? Or is it that we're running into one or two, 5 or 6? I don't know. We got to figure out what the mission of the nonprofit is and then how to accomplish that. All right. So that could be another further conversation. I don't want to take everyone's time with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyone else have any questions? Anyone else have any questions? All right. So I want to again say thank you. There are opportunities to work with me that I have deeply, 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 deeply discounted. This is going to be a season, particularly in this current economic and political climate, where you're going to want to make sure that your organizations are showing itself to be a solution, showing itself to be a solution. Okay. I have a nonprofit startup. Um, I'm calling it a quick start kit. It's under $200. It has the do-it-yourself 501c3, the compliance guide. It's got a pre-made mission vision template. It has a it has the 10 my 10 replays on fundraising in it. It has information about uh, launching and growing your nonprofit. It's got my fundraising and grant writing readiness. It's got a board development and governance um, uh, tool in it as well. I'll share the link with you if you would like to take a look at it. There are some major things in there. If you are interested in the Las Vegas opportunity where I can help you with your board and getting your board strategically planned, that 4 days is only, and I think right now I've got it on for $100 off. Let me get it in front of me here. I think for the 4 days, I think it's only like $297 or something like that. If I can get enough interest, if there is enough interest, then I'm looking to also work on some meals, but working on some rooms and things like that. I chose Vegas Wednesday, Thursday, because it's cheap. It's inexpensive to go into Vegas during those days. And also wanting to just make sure that you all have um, the instruction, right? Making sure that you all have the instruction and the support, So for it's 4 days. Each day, you could do 1 day, you could do 2 days, you could do all 3 days. And there's a discount for those as well. All right. If you all are interested in that, let me know. If you all decide that you want to do any of the packages on the link that I just shared, the 167 package, I will throw in an additional 30-minute one-on-one with you just to make sure that you guys are on track. That the 167 package has a lot in it. The link is there for you. And I'll throw in a 30-minute to the end of the week, all right, for you as well. Okay. Any questions, any comments before I let you all go? If not, I want to say thank you. Hopefully, you all will share the word that I have hopefully delivered and met your expectation as it relates to the 6 weeks. Hopefully, you have learned and got some insight and some perspective that you did not have before. I really am the nonprofit expert, and I say that with all humility. I cannot believe that I had the honor and the opportunity to work with so many organizations, both nationally and internationally, um, and to be able to share that insight with you and hopefully give you all the tools that you need to be the experts of your nonprofits. You are the experts. You are the CEO. Um, and I hope that you found value. All right. Your feedback is important. Your feedback is important. Um, if you all, email me and say, Jen, this is what I got out of the training. Jen, this is what, I found valuable. Jen, you helped me understand this. Those testimonials, of course, help me. I don't have a Google review link that I'm aware of, but we would be happy to add those to my website. And again, thank you all for trusting me with these last 6 weeks. And I hope that you will continue to follow. I hope that you will continue to share. I hope that you will continue to get value in some of the things that I share even after this, even after this, even after this. Okay. Thank you, Deborah. I would really appreciate that. I would really appreciate that. I would really appreciate that. All right. Is that all? Is that it? I think so.
Thank you, Jen.
You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. Many of you all were just kind of came to me under Hillman Talk. I don't know if any of you all had followed me prior to the Hillman Talk phenomenon, but I appreciate those follows. I appreciate no, not before. I'm glad. I'm glad that we met under these circumstances. I see you, Lady.
I have one more question. How long will the videos be up on YouTube?
Um, I think my team took them down, um, and re-tagged them and reframed them. I'm not sure how long they're going to be up, honestly. My
Mm.
goal was to repurpose some of this.
Uh,
I haven't made that decision yet. Yeah,
yeah, I didn't see week 5.
it's a
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'll continue to look for it. And then you'll be putting up week 6
yeah, I'm not
before.
sure when. I have to edit this one. This one had a little more conversation that I'm not sure I want to put all of it up, but we'll see. We'll see what goes
Okay.
on the YouTube. Um, Yeah, and I would appreciate you all's likes and subscriptions as well. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers over there. So I get frustrated when people come and
And
just
don't. Uh,
and not reciprocate. It just makes me
I
think,
did. I did already.
yeah,
And I'm so excited. I just can't hide it.
I'm
Thank you a million times. Thank you.
All right, you all, have a great rest of your evening. Have a great rest of your week. Remember, your missions matter. Your missions matter. And in this particular climate, your missions matter more than ever. With what's coming down from this current administration, the work, the opportunities, the results and the help, the benefit is going to come from the nonprofit. So make sure that you all are aligned, make sure that your boards are in place, make sure that you all have the plan and the strategies so that you guys can show yourself worthy of support. And do that now. Don't wait. Do that now. Don't wait. All right. Thank you all very much. I will see you all out here on these streets. And again, thank you so very much for your support during these last 6 weeks. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it.